2, 3, 4.
Hey, I'm Georgia Lyons and this is Intros. Today on the show I have the absolutely amazing Bexy joining me. Bexy, welcome to Intros.
Thank you for having me, Georgia.
The very first time that I met you, I was playing a show in Christchurch. My opening act was sick. You get the call up. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Just your voice, your songwriting, just, you know, everyone in that room was just dead silent. It was a great show. What has your journey to get to this point been like?
Wow, that's a big question.
I know. You
That's
woke up
huge.
one day and you're like, here I am.
I mean, I've always kind of written my own music. Like my first song that I wrote, I was really young. It was a Jesus song.
Great.
I posted it on Facebook and a lot of my friends liked it, and then they'd come around to my house and be like, Bexy, can you sing for us? I'm like, no way. I would make them sit in another room. So I'd have the door open, they'd sit in another room, I'd face the other way, would turn off the lights, and that's how they would hear me sing, because I was just so terrified. At my core, like, that's what I love doing, but I was just so insecure, and I just felt it was a struggle, the anxiety when performing in front of people.
Do you still feel like that? I know we're kind of jumping ahead of the question, but...
Yeah, definitely. But I think when I get into a groove of performing a lot, if I'm doing a lot of shows, it definitely disappears a lot and I just get to enjoy it.
So how do you get to the point, because I'm sure there's people listening that are terrified of performing and they love doing it, but they're like, I don't even know how to get up on stage.
Yeah. I mean, it changes all the time, but I guess it's more prepping myself, giving myself that little chat, being like, remember your why. Like, this isn't about being perfect. It's just about doing what you love and allowing yourself to create this safe space for people to feel anything.
You start performing, what happens from there? What's been your journey the last few years?
Well, it all kind of changed when I moved to Dunedin and I was studying a design communications degree, trying to figure out what I was doing. And I kept going to gigs that were happening. The live music scene in Dunedin was amazing, and I would just go there and feel so deeply inspired. And I'm like, oh, I just want to get on that stage. Like, I know that's what I'm meant to do. And then after a few beers, one night, I did end up on the stage. And then I think one of the girls from the band before that, her name's Mackenzie, and she was like, why don't we just make a girl band? Like, there's no girl bands. I was like, okay,
amazing,
let's do it. But our first show was at this crazy flat party. The sound was awful. I couldn't hear myself, and the crowd was leaning into us, like messing up all our gear. And I remember afterwards just bawling my eyes out to my dad who watched. I was like, I was so bad. Like, I sounded like a dying cat. And he was like, yeah, you did, but everyone's drunk. But we just continually did shows. And I just got this, I was like, this feels good. We managed to get on a bunch of cool festival lineups. And things really were flowing. And then I got asked to tour with this guy from Australia, Ziggy Alberts. Do you know him? Yeah,
I do.
And it just felt so amazing to feel like this is my creativity. And I don't know, it felt right. And it wasn't even like an ego thing. It was more just something about it felt good. And I learned so much from that. It was amazing. But after that, I definitely had a bit of a breakdown. I remember coming home and just feeling kind of confused about my life because I was doing my design degree and I had the girl band, and I was like, but something doesn't feel right. It just feels like I'm not fully aligning with what I really, really want to be doing. And so I jumped on a plane to Perth with my parents and I escaped. I left.
See you later.
See you later, everybody. Run away from your problems. Not the best thing to do at all. And I was so confused. I felt like a lost little soul, and I came home one night and I was like, Mum, please, like, help me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm failing. And she just turned to me and she was like, Bexy, you know exactly what you want to do. Like, we all know what you want to do. I've just been waiting for you to say that you're ready. She told me just start being brave and telling people that you're a songwriter, that you're an artist when they ask you what you're doing, instead of, I don't know what I'm doing, you know?
So for people that may have never have heard of you before, what is the sound of Bexy?
Pop music.
Great.
Yeah.
You haven't always done pop music?
Honestly, I don't think it's necessarily that I wasn't doing pop music before. I think it's more that it's a mindset, because I think it's empowering for me to say, okay, I'm doing pop music, because I used to be, I think my ego would get very much involved, especially coming from Dunedin, where everybody's like, oh, indie music, like pop music sucks. You know, there's definitely that chat that goes around. I know it's such a cliche thing to say, but
I totally
it was
understand
important.
what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think from the get-go when I started writing music, it's always been pop structure. That's what I gravitated towards. That's what brought me joy. There's something about that feels good to me, yeah.
This is maybe the first time I've ever thought about that internally, because I have 100% done that. When people say, what sort of music do you write? And you're like, oh, I write pop, but and you feel like you've got to justify the type of pop or the type of music because you don't want someone to be like, oh, you write pop music. I need to start owning it too.
Yeah, own it.
Yeah. And when you do run in your own lane, in terms of I'm going to give everything I can to what I'm doing and what's authentic to me, like people feel that.
1,000%.
I think everything that you're doing, like I feel that through what you're doing. Like you're so authentic. And even like this is the next thing I'd love to talk to you about. Like you've been to London, you write this post online.
Oh no.
For the intros audience who may have no idea what I'm talking about, because I'm being very vague. What was the
I'm
post?
guessing you're talking about the 6-month video.
Yes, that's what I'm talking
6-month
about.
post,
Yeah.
yes. So I just made a little video of me saying, I'm going to give myself 6 months to change my life, to just be brave and be open, because I was getting into a little bit of a spiral of wanting to kind of close myself off from the world, especially because I just moved overseas. Even though that was a part of me wanting to change my life, I was feeling a little bit vulnerable, and I love challenges. And a lot of it was about more just social media posting the 6 months, to be honest. It was like, okay, I'm going to show up for 6 months online.
Sure.
But then that video kind of blew up a little bit, and it was amazing. It was the first time I'd kind of had a bit of traction online. Like, it's such an electric feeling when that happens. And I was replying to all these people, and they were sending me beautiful messages, and I was like, this is so insane. And I was getting on a roll, and crazy stuff was happening in my life. Like, weird situations were just opening up to me because I was being so open with.
Did your life change in 6 months?
I mean, life always changes, but
Very true.
I found it really hard to navigate that electric feeling you get when a post blows up and all your worth almost becoming about numbers, which is so silly. And it was really bad, and I just couldn't even post online.
Because of that, feeling a sense of pressure of if I do something and it doesn't have that same response as the initial post, then it means X, Y, and Z about me.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And then I remember posting something that was more negative because I was battling, and I was like, well, I got to be authentic, like authenticity. And I lost like 5,000 followers in a day or something. And then I was gutted. It's so embarrassing talking about this because you shouldn't be gutted, because at the end of the day, like, none of that shit really matters.
But the thing is that's very normal and human.
For sure, but I think it's something important. I don't know, when you get into this industry, like, it needs to come from a pure place. Your why needs to be pure.
Yeah.
And I know it's so cliche and so simple, but I had to remind myself of that, and I think it was quite a journey, and I did put a lot of pressure on myself to be like, I have to change my life in 6 months. Like, I have to do crazy shit. Like, I literally have to become Taylor Swift in 6 months or else, And it was just silly. It was just...
What was the point for you where you realised, okay, this isn't helpful? And then what did you do from there?
I cried and I called my mum, and I decided to come back to New Zealand and just reset and remind myself why I do music. Not that I was wanting to quit music or anything full on like that, but I definitely started to get my priorities were a bit warped, and I learned to look at it with curiosity and playfulness, which is kind of how I just want to look at life. I don't want to take things so seriously.
Very wise. You're very wise, Bexy.
That's all my mum, honestly. Not that wise. Shot mum. She's a legend.
Okay, so today you are going to perform live for us one of your songs.
It's called You Don't Lie. And it's about accepting, situationships. When somebody wants crumbs, no, sorry, they don't want crumbs. They want half of you and they're giving you crumbs. And those can be the hardest situations to walk away from, because you wish that they would just be like, no, bye. Like, I don't want you. But they're kind of like, oh, I kind of do.
Tell us how you went about writing that song.
Well, me, my mum, and my friends were all going through a similar situation, and I needed a song so badly for us to sing, to make me feel better. And I just couldn't find any songs. Nothing felt like how I was feeling for some reason. So I sat in my room and I opened up this random old magazine and there was this poem, and then that kind of ignited the song in a way. And I just sat on my bed and I wrote the whole song in like 10 minutes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I showed my mum straight away and she even got out her phone and was like vlogging.
I love that.
Yeah, it was really cute.
I am in awe of the way that you just are willing to be authentic. It really comes across just, it's a gift. So thank you so much. It's been such a privilege to have you on intros.
I'm so honoured.
Give you, bye. Cute. My hands are real sweaty, I'm so sorry.
No, they're not.
They're
What are you
hot
talking
and
about?
sticky, but we love you and this is a cute little way of saying goodbye.
We love you. We love Georgia.
You didn't mean it, you were just bleeding. How could I be angry when you were so kind? Wanted to save you, so I listened. I saw so much of me in your eyes. I let you under my skin, maybe autumn left me inside out. I showed you all of my fears, now I'm left in tears. You ordered me down. Do you want this? You say that you don't. It kinda feels like you want this, hiding what you want. But you don't want this, you don't want this, you don't want this. And the truth is you don't. The truth is right. Promised would end, but then you come over. You just hold me and we take it further. 'Cause I can't help myself, I wanna feel close. Close to you. I let you under my skin, maybe autumn left me inside out. I showed you all of my fears, now I'm left in tears. You ordered me down. Do you want this? You say that you don't. It kinda feels like you want this, but hiding what you want. You don't want this, you don't want this, you don't want this. And the truth